Guys, I hope that class conversation was constructive, and I just want to encourage you that being right is such a low goal compared to being friends with someone. Friendship is lasting. Friendship creates good chemicals in our body. Being right is worthless in comparison. So if we want to understand, or as I've understood this idea of privilege, I want to share with you today that, how I've really begun to understand this idea of privilege. And the way I understand it for myself is a bit like an onion, There's layers and layers and layers of it. As we went through these dialogues over the last 10 years, the most obvious layer for me is the color of my skin. I am a white human. You walk into a church and there's a white God. You walk into the most privileged areas in South Africa and there's mostly white people. Most of the billionaires in South Africa, millionaires are. It's changing now, but most of the wealthy people, CEOs, are white. And so whiteness carries with it a historic privilege, which in so many ways is terribly wrong. And we've got an incredible course on Black consciousness which deals with that, which I highly recommend. So my whiteness is a privilege. Then next layer, my gender is a privilege. As a man, historically, again, you walk into church as a white male, you walk into offices, white men are the bosses. Historically, maleness created privilege in terms of the salary, and thankfully that's being so wonderfully challenged. The next layer down in the onion is, where did I grow up? I grew up in Westville Senior, Westville Junior, Westville High School. I went to Maritzburg College. So the area I was born into was safe, and I had incredible schools that I walked to with 5 minutes away. I was friends from a very young age with humans who had connections. We went on holiday with humans who worked in different environments, and so I was indoctrinated in an environment of opportunity. And then I went to UCT, and that kind of continued, and I was able to become an executive as a result of it. Next layer down is safety. I was brought up in a very safe environment with good nutrition, which the UN teaches us accelerates learning. And you can carry on. There's just endless layers of sexuality, nationality, etc., etc. So there's just so many different layers of oppression, of privilege. And at the same time, the opposite of those is oppression. There's so many different layers of oppression, and where those things meet often is called the point of intersection. And you have these conflicts between the powerful, those who have lots of power, the rich, and the poor, and there's constantly a tension between, hey, we need justice, and that is a good tension. We want that in society. We want, it doesn't serve any of us, hopefully, as we've seen, where we have these disproportionate scales of power. White maleness, disproportionately powerful in society compared to black females, as we saw with those statistics of wage per household. So that doesn't serve any of us, and we want those challenged, and that's a good thing. It's an uncomfortable thing, but it's a good thing. I want to just pause for us for a second on those ideas of privilege, and I hope sitting there today that some of that is helpful to you. I want to pause just briefly and go, Zach is such an incredible role model in that, because he was gentle. Zach challenged. There wasn't one of my privileges that Zach left unchallenged in his wisdom and gentleness, but he did that through friendship and love and kindness, and his family did the same. And I do want to challenge us. There's this hostility, anger, cancellation. Those hurt us. They make us offended. When we're hurt and offended, we're scary. Humans are scary like that. It doesn't serve any of us. And I really want to encourage us to be like Zach and challenge privilege gently.